So first we're going to be using my little brown charm mat. This one has just a bunch of different sections on it that say different meanings. So we have focus, self, healing, luck, burden, abundance, family, ending, create, spirit, health, travel, home, romance, work, and beginning. So basically all I do is I take my charms in my little holder that I use. I used to just put them in my hand. I also used to have a little trinket box. You could change it up as much as you want. Another cool one that would be kind of fun to use is I have this. A candle was actually in here, and this would be like a perfect little charm thrower. I've used that as well in the past, actually. But these days I've been liking my little espresso cup because it's funny and it has a tiny little handle. So basically what we're gonna do, shake these up, and then I'm just going to throw them. Some people like to just turn and dump them out. I like to shake them out, and then sometimes what I'll even do is just like move them intuitively with my hands, but that's totally a personal preference thing. I know a lot of people do not do that. And again, some people would actually like pick up the cloth and shake it around. Other people put it in a box or whatever. So what I usually also do, because I feel like I have a lot of charms, so what I also do is sometimes I just don't throw out all the charms and I keep some in here. So we have like the baby feet, the flower, the butterfly, and the kitchen mixer. So those ones didn't want to come out. So what I want to do is just go over these quickly, just to kind of give you guys a little bit of an understanding of how I read them. Let's see what we see. So we have, because I'm using the actual charm mat, I pay less attention to things like the arrow pointing towards something because I already have like a set ruling for it. So it's kind of like if you're reading with a tarot spread layout, like the tarot spread layouts that I use, you don't often have to read like where the cards are looking in relation to the spread because the spread is already set out. But if you're reading in like an item like this where there isn't actually anything set out, then that's where reading where things are pointing and what things are closer to can really be helpful. But for this one, I don't do that. So basically in the ending, we have this little mirror, which could represent ending some shadow work that I've been working on. We have my spirit guide, so that really, with the mirror, really represents that there's going to be some sort of a spiritual ending that my spirit guide has been helping me work on, which totally resonates with me right now. We also have some crayons in Create. There's also a broom that I'm reading as being in spirit. So the broom is next to should I zoom you guys in? I think that's a little bit better maybe. So the broom is next to the graduation cap, which can mean that I'm clearing out some things as it relates to learning new things. Also got the self-sabotage symbol, so self-sabotaging some of my spirit and my wishes perhaps. We've got some things outside of the circle, which some people read to mean other things as well. This can be like future, past, up top could be like a mental space, down below could be the physical, or like you could have higher vibrations, lower vibrations. You can have something you're moving towards at the top and something you're moving away from at the bottom, or vice versa. Honestly, just anything that resonates with you. So with work here, we're seeing the RIP, which totally makes sense. Maybe I might get some mediumship work coming in. I'm also on vacation right now from my actual work, so that could totally represent that as well. Under romance, we've got the little heart. We also have the fertility fish in between home and romance. So, you know, some fertility stuff might be wanting to happen. We're also seeing the house actually landed basically in the home, which is really interesting. We've also got the little celebration symbol right next to the home as well. So some partying, some happiness, which makes sense because we're in the Christmas season right now. So my dad's charm fell under focus, so there might be something that I have to focus on with my dad, and the watering can is kind of falling right on it, so I might need to give my dad a little extra attention. Some of the charms that fall in the middle, I typically just read as either present, or usually I just don't read them at all these days. Under family, we're also seeing like some money and some webs, and my husband is here as well. So this might, and our family, like our children potentially. So to me, this means that we're like currently weaving the web that's going to bring us some money and help us in our relationship to grow our family. So totally intuitive. Someone might read that completely different, you know, depending on your intuition and where you're at. For instance, if I was having money trouble right now, I might see that next to my husband and be like, oh, we're having money trouble and that's why it's in here. But with the web, you know, it's giving some hope maybe that things are going to be weaving themselves out and kind of figuring it out. So again, really depends on what you actually mean to be your charms and what intention you place on them. For me, also under burden, which is kind of funny, I'm seeing spirit as a burden and also joy, which totally makes sense because I'm on vacation and it's like my first hour of vacation and I'm working, making this video for you. So I'm kind of seeing joy as a burden right now. Like I don't want to stop and just have a good time. I want to keep working and doing things and creating. So that totally makes sense that I don't want to really connect with like spirit angels, and I would rather just like avoid having fun and connecting in favor of work. But with the RIP in work, we're seeing that we also have like this chariot energy in here as well. So we're seeing that I want to keep going, but it needs to stop. As I just end the video. But so that's just a quick overview. I'm sure you guys saw things that I did not see in this reading, but that is how I read with my brown mat. Next up, we've got this green mat that I also sell. This one's really fun because instead of being in a circle, it's just all laid out. So it's a lot easier just to kind of, you know, give us some stuff here. So, oh, I lost some charms because they were right on the edge. So the charms that actually fell off the board are the Celebrate and the flower again. So that's the second time the flower did not want to be in the reading. What do you guys think that means for the flower? You can choose to read things that fall off the mat or don't. Again, it's kind of like tarot when you're shuffling. If a card flies out, some people read those very deeply and some people don't. With this, you can just throw the charms any way that you want. If you wanted to like hold them up and let them all fall down, that's also an option for you. You can like shake your mat and then see where it falls. Yeah, so just any way that you feel called to. Once you feel like, okay, it's ready, I have them where they're meant to be, then you can read them. And like I said, some people do that by just as soon as they touch the mat, they don't touch the mat at all. But I am a proponent of really putting my energy in and like feeling my hands. I don't look at what I'm moving or where I'm putting things, but I like to touch them and really feel like I am like connecting with them to make sure they're where they need to be. Because I believe that wherever they fell, if they're meant to be where they fell, and even if I move my hands around a little bit or spread things out a little bit or put my energy on, they're going to stay where they're meant to be. That's just something I believe. For instance, I noticed that a lot of these symbols that I moved around were already in the past. I didn't really move them that much, but because I wasn't really intuitively moving them, I was just showing you. So this mat is super fun. I love how it has like stuff to create, ancestor message, spirit message. This would be a great mat to use in your rituals. You can also use this mat just like with a pendulum or runes or any other divination tool or idea that you have to use with them. They're really, really just very versatile and nice to just have. I like to just keep it on display. It's something that's fun for me. But again, not for everyone. So sorry, I'm not doing a full-on reading of this mat. If you guys want to see like some readings later on, let me know, because I can always do that. So I'm just gonna try to kind of move it along. And we also have the chakra one, which I feel like this one is like the one that I think I like the most. For this one, we're just going to put them up like that. We lost another one. It's because I'm like right on the edge of this tiny table, so I keep losing them. I don't usually ever lose them, but okay, so now we have these ones. So throat chakra, my mom comes through, so there's likely something representing my throat chakra I have to deal with my mom, something I might have to tell her or something. It's also near the chest piece, so it might be something logical I have to work out with her. I've got the pentacle in the solar plexus chakra next to the little tank, which this is like my, oh my goodness, sorry. I'm like banging everything around. This is like my trouble chakra a lot of the time. These bottom ones, sometimes I find issues with. There really isn't anything in my root chakra besides this Om. So it's actually giving me a nice message that my root chakra is probably moving along, doing quite well right now. Then in my solar plexus, we've got like my father energy. We've got the angel energy again. We've got my own energy and some chariot energy kind of moving from one to the other. So there might be like, you know, maybe a connection here. Something wants to kind of shift with the energy. We've also got the wish, the anchor, and the food in that one. So be eating some orange foods right now, or sacral chakra energy foods would be really good. We also see the little candy coming up again, this time in the heart chakra, so that would obviously bring me a lot of joy. The arrow is also pointing to it, and we have like two locks around it, and the third eye chakra in the throat chakra space. So potentially there's something that I need to see or unlock as it relates to my joy, and really like watering that and figuring that out for myself. We have the busy bee in here as well, so something relating to maybe taking a step back, finding more joy, and using that to help propel me forward. We got some money in the third eye. There's a lot of third eye items here, like my husband. We've got the doctor and my husband again. We've got some crayons kind of going in between the two. Got some money, fertility. We've got the meditation thing, so doing like a third eye meditation would probably be great for me right now. So again, you could keep going on this for a really long time. I'm sure you guys are seeing things in these readings that I'm not even pointing out, just because there's so much symbolism in these, which is also why I appreciate having less charms in my collection, because I feel like I get a better, more accurate reading with less. I feel like less is more, but some people love a lot and some people don't. It's one of those things, and it changes for me all the time. Some days I'm like, throw all the charms, and other days I'm like, I only want like 10 charms. So I love that you can really pick and choose what you want to read with and when. And then the last couple ones that I have next to me, this one is actually an error printer, so this one is not going to be sold, but I have this style for sale. This one is like a relationship one that I thought would be really fun if you wanted to read for other people, or if you were looking for love. This would be a really cool one. So if the charms landed in dating, it would say what's going on in your dating life, marriage life, romance, present love, past love, future, healing, passion, and lesson. So just like all messages relating to love, which I thought would be really fun. I love this one. It's kind of bent right now just because I've had it bent for a while, since this is my the printed error one. I should probably iron it, but I don't have an iron, so it'll fall out once you put a book or something on it. They bounce back super fast. But anyway, love this one. Also so glad they sent it to me, even though it has this imperfection, because I wasn't planning on keeping any of these loved ones for myself, but now I am, and I'm really happy that I did, because it's just so beautiful. I love the bright red as well. It's so like vibrant, and it's just a really cool one as well. And then I also have the Astrology one. This one is printed on silk, actually, just because I was testing it and wanted to see what you guys thought of like doing the silk. I like the silk, but I kind of like the linen vibe a little bit more, just because it feels more earthy, which I feel like I resonate with a lot. But the silk is really fun too. So the silk could represent people in your life. You could also use this to represent the wheel of the year. So throwing your charms, getting some in Aquarius would mean the lessons for Aquarius, and so on and so forth. So Aquarius, my dad comes through, Chariot, fertility, my mom as well, doctor. Anchoring down in March, we've got some magic web, meditation as it comes to being in May, June, which totally makes sense because I have a lot coming up in summer next year. So we also have some creation in June as well. And then we have a little dog with a lock in July, which is so cute because I likely will be seeing my parents' dog in July. So that's so precious. Then we've got like key, broom. This is a month that is supposed to be super busy for me, so that's not surprising at all. We've got cutting the cord in the fall. And then going into some happiness, some abundance late next year. My husband and I doing some kind of interesting things at the end of the year. So you can read it as like a yearly prediction. You could read it as people. So you could say, you know, the Pisces in my life, this represents them. One of my best friends is an Aries, Taurus, Gemini. So you can find people in your life that are represented by the symbols, or you can do it based on the year, or you can do it in any other way that you feel connected to. You could also just read the charms on this mat and not pay attention to the symbols that much, but only pick up on them when they intuitively mean something to you. So if you land, for instance, having my mom on the Pisces symbol, perhaps with the anchor as well, perhaps there's something that she needs to ground as it relates to a Pisces message, like connecting with your inner feelings and your emotions. Maybe her dreams could be anchoring down from like drinking or something. My mom doesn't drink really at all, but just to give you guys an idea. So I love this one. It's super fun. I do really like the silky material. I haven't, now that I'm like putting them on here, it just kind of feels so nice to move them around. So I might do some more silk prints in the future. You guys let me know what you guys think about the different materials and colors. But yeah, I love this one. It's also bigger than the other ones, which is kind of fun just to try something different. So for instance, like the green one laying on top is like quite a bit smaller. But this one has a lot more like empty space on it. The Astrology one has a lot more empty space around the edges, which I think would be really beautiful if you had a really nice altar or something to put this on, because it's gorgeous, nice and blue. And then if we move on, so you could also definitely just read on a table like this and just throw your charms and have different intentions for where they're falling, or just read them based on where they're falling, or using something like this, as I mentioned, would be kind of cool. So you put them in like this. See where they land. So we can read this as being past, present, future, something you're moving away from, something you're moving towards, or something that's in your lower vibrational frequency, or a burden of some kind, and then more like higher messages or intellect. You could also read it as the seasons, and you could do like winter, spring, summer, fall, northeast, west, south. Honestly, you can do any single thing that you feel drawn to, which maybe feels a little bit intimidating at the same time. Sorry, I keep banging my thing. Which is why I made the casting cloths, because I find that having just like a little bit more can make it a little bit easier to figure it out at the beginning. But we're really seeing this angel come through beside the money quite a bit. So this would be a good time to have a charm that really represents you in your reading, so that you can see where you are. I'm really noticing this hand facing down. So it's like the wisdom of the hand is facing down and it's not being accessed right now. I'm seeing my husband and I connected to the World card here, and another heart for us as well. We've got the butterfly close. Oh, this one is supposed to represent me and my business. So maybe some like transformation coming over here with the charm that sort of represents me. Anchoring in fertility, or figuring out what's going on with abundance kind of thing could be as well. Because I'm doing so many readings all at once and just kind of throwing things, obviously I don't really think these are like actual readings for me right now, but just giving you guys kind of an idea of what you can do. Okay, so I hope that was helpful for you guys to kind of understand a little bit more about charm casting. Like I said, I'm not a professional charm caster or anything. This is just something that I picked up in the past year, and I've just been really having a great time exploring it and figuring it out. If you currently read charms, let me know. If you're interested in it, let me know. I know so many of you guys are really curious to find out more about it, and I totally get why, because that was me like a year ago when I first found out about it. I was like, this is the coolest thing, and I didn't know how I've never heard of it, because I've done so many forms of divination through so much teaching with my teachers and spiritual mentors that I've had, and on my own throughout the years. So whenever there's something that I've never heard of, I'm always like, what is it? I always need to just figure it out. And with this one, it definitely resonated with me right away. It's so much fun to create your kit, and I just love that there's no rules. It's just the perfect way to express yourself and to connect with your intuition and practice with your intuition. Doing predictive readings can be really fun with the charms. There's just so many different things that you can do with them, and I really hope that this video was helpful. I'll have a link down below to my charms that I'm selling on Etsy if you're interested in getting one of my mats, and you can also purchase 20 charms to come with the mats. Any questions, you can always message me on Instagram, email, or on my Etsy shop. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today, and I look forward to our next hangout. Let me know what video you guys want to see from me next. So till then, I'll see you guys next time. Stay well. Bye.